Right guys, Shay here, Uneven Bounce. Hope you guys are well. It is Thursday, the 30th of January, and I just wanted to have a quick chat to you guys about the current England team and really assessing how good, well, they really are. What I'm going to do in this video though is quickly go back to front a little bit and say at the beginning of the video, because I'm not sure that many people, if anyone, is really getting to the end. So I just want to say, please do, if you enjoy the content, obviously, please do like the video, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, I emphasize the comment part. Someone out there, listen to this video, please do give me a comment. Anything. Just say, Shay, I completely disagree with your opinion. No problem. Absolutely fine. Got no issue with that. Like I said from the first video, I've got no issue about that. These videos are meant to create some debate, just from a fan's perspective. I'm not a journalist, I'm just a regular fan who wants to talk about cricket to other regular fans out there. That's it. So, whatever you got to say, that's cool. Just throw it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. So anyway, and like I said, you know, obviously, do subscribe, of course. That obviously would be helpful. But yeah, anyway, so let's get to it. Anyway, so, yeah, I mean, a lot of talk about, obviously, England in the last few days about how good this team really is. It always happens, doesn't it, really? Like, we always think, like, England are a bit crap, and then they pull off a good win like this. I think, actually, not so bad. Actually, there's a lot of potential, and some good players in there, and they can beat, you know, they win the next Ashes and all this stuff, you know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, you hear a lot, do you know what I mean, after an England win, especially in a series like this. Now, let's be completely honest. South Africa got beat by Sri Lanka a year ago at home. You know, they're not, and that was with, obviously, you know, such players like, obviously, well, Dwayne Levy didn't play that series when I think he's left, but obviously they had, well, Haffeland, who was probably more committed to the course, you could say, and Faf not in such horrible form, etc. So, listen, what I'm trying to say is, it is not a great South African team, you know, it's not. That being said, you can't take away from the fact that England lost the first test. They had people, you know, in injuries like Archer and Anderson. They brought in, obviously, bench players like Wokes. Best came in, obviously, that second test. It could have been Matt Leach, could have been Parkinson even, you know, but Best came in, did really well. You know, obviously, Zach Crawley came in. They lost Roy Burns, obviously, to that freak injury. And they showed, you know, they've got a strong squad, you know, there as well. So, interestingly enough, the people that come in and perform, some of them perform better than the people who went out. You know, you could argue. I mean, Mark Wood being the main plus point to say for the whole series. He only played 2 tests, but he was, you know, phenomenal in those 2 tests. So it was good to see from an England perspective what happened in the series. I just want to kind of hold people's horses though a little bit. I mean, I think it's a good team. I do. I think it's a strong team now. It's good to see Root making runs again. Disappoints a little bit that he obviously didn't go on to make 100 in the final test in Joburg, but he's obviously showing now he's a bit more. What's the word for it? Really, just a bit more steadfast and strong-willed in his captaincy, I'd say. He's making runs, which is good. Tactically, he seems to be a bit more astute now, so that's good to see. They've had massive batting issues. I said it for a long time, way before he's done these videos. I mean, I've been saying for years now the batting's been brittle, you know, and that's why they tried some of the opening partners, for example, to partner Alistair Cook previously, you know, and hopefully found one of Rory Burns, but now Rory Burns needs a partner, but hopefully they found one of Dominic Sibley, you know, Zach Crawley. So, you know, it's a good team. I mean, the glaring problems I can see. Now, the good thing is, I see only 2, maybe 3 problems, but definitely only 2. That's number 3 and the keeper. Number 3, Joe Denley, you know. Like I said before in these videos, I think he is a good short-term solution. I do think he'll go to Sri Lanka because Burns is still injured. I do think Denley will go because obviously he bowls a bit of spin as well. That will help on those wickets. So I think Denley will go, but I think long-term, I wouldn't be looking towards him for the Ash in 2021, 2022. I wouldn't be considering Joe Denley. So I think there's a problem there. I think, but that being said, if Crawley is now able to kind of kick on from this series, then obviously he can maybe take number 3 spot with Sibley and Burns opening. Then you've got the keeper's position, which is a real problem at the moment, and obviously Josh Butler's got to go. It's just unfortunate. It's just not unfortunate. None of it worked. It's I'm a massive Josh Butler fan in white ball cricket. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think his hand-eye coordination, just his sheer instinct to pick length is actually quite phenomenal. He's I think Owen Morgan started that kind of trend of the unorthodox kind of inventive, what's the word for it? Not against the establishment, but just someone who wasn't going to be a typical kind of English white ball batsman. Now, that being said, actually think about it, KP's probably the first one to do that. He was the first one to, really kind of, change the script a little bit on that one, flip the script. And now Morgan followed up in 2009. He made his debut against, I think it was South Africa actually, in the ODI series at home. Why do I think that? That must have been away. I'm sure he made his debut at home in 2009. Then he went to SA and he did really well in the white ball series. Who did he play in 2009 at home? A bit Australia, didn't he? In the Ashes. But I don't know if he played in the ODIs. I can check that out anyway. But I remember 2009. He made his debut like a 23-year-old. And the shots he was pulling out, just crazy. Reverse sweeps and scoop shots and all this kind of stuff, And it's like, okay, he's very unorthodox, but he's very effective. Because I think KB paved the way, followed by Morgan, etc. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, so Josh Butler, I said he's a great player. He's a great white ball player. Really enjoy him as watch him play. I think it's fantastic for England in the T20s and ODI game. My opinion that he should be next ODI captain and T20 captain, taking over from Morgan. Probably after the World Cup, I imagine Morgan will maybe possibly retire. If not, then I think he might just step aside as captain. He might carry on playing, but for me, if he's going to maybe after the World Cup just retire completely, just from the international game, then Butler would take over. That being said, but unfortunately it's just not worked for him in the Test arena. I think he needs to go to Ben Foakes. I think Ben Foakes has an opportunity. I think he will get that opportunity, and I think he'll be part of that touring party. The interesting thing will be, I personally think that Bairstow will go as second keeper, Johnny Bairstow. I think Foakes will know that Bairstow will be breathing down his neck a little bit there. So, anyway, yeah, so that's a real problem there. Denley to persevere with. He's got a lot of starts, but he just seems to be able to kick on. So if you can do that, then great. But I don't know. So I think it's good to have someone like him around in a young lineup to kind of give him that, have that kind of knowledge and know-how. But ultimately, it's about scoring runs. If you're batting in the top 6, your job almost certainly is to score a ton of runs. Unless you say Ben Stokes, who scores a ton of runs anyway. And he also bowls really well. I mean, that guy's just out of this world, isn't he? So let's not talk about Ben Stokes for now. But, with, say, Butler and Denley, there's 2 problem areas. If you can get that sorted, they, on paper, have a very strong team, I would say. That's what everyone playing to, roughly their potential. The only other question mark I would have is over Dominic Bess. Now, I know I've been saying he's done really well in SA, and he's done really well in the series. For me, the acid test is going to be Sri Lanka and see how he performs there. If he does well in Sri Lanka, then we can start to say we've got possibly a new, permanent fixture to the team now, and we may have that spin kind of base covered. Moeen Ali's playing obviously the white ball stuff in SA. Be very interesting to see how he gets on, and if he'll make himself available for the test tour of Sri Lanka. Because if he does, that's gonna cause England some good headaches. Because I think they're high on Mo, So if Mo does show some form in the T20 and ODI stuff, then maybe they'll try and push him to be part of that touring party. Because they're going to need 2 frontline spinners. Now Jack Leach hopefully will be fit by that time. Leach, Moeen Ali, Dominic Bess. To me, you could argue and take all 3 potentially. Expand the squad to 16, 17 players. 17 maybe too many, maybe 16, but there's an argument taking Moeen Ali as well. I don't think you'll see Rashid this time. I very much doubt he'll be there. But I'd like to see Moeen. If he's playing well, then fine. I'm not the biggest fan of Moeen Ali. I think, well, a few people know that. Maybe even listen to this vid. But I'm not the biggest fan of Moeen Ali, to be honest with you. But I do think if he's performing pretty well, he can be an asset as maybe a second bowling option, spinning option. So, yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, we'll see how Best gets on. Because if they can find a really good spinner and effective... Yeah, I'm not even saying that Dominic Best has to become, you know, a real, like, aggressive frontline wicket-taking option at all times, you know, test matches for England. You know, I'm not expecting him to be, you know, a Nathan Lyon or Ashwin or Jadeja or even Mirage to a certain extent, you know, or Rashid Khan. You know, I'm not expecting that. I'm just, if he's going to be somebody who holds up an end and in subcontinents is more of a threat, but as long as England, I've said before, I've got their pace bowling stocks intact, and you've got, you know, 3, 4, 5 seamers they can bring in any one time to support the spinner. That's fine. Best can do a good job there. You know, it doesn't have to be Graham Swan to a certain extent. You know, it'd be great if he can be. And the guy's still only, what, 22? He's got so much time on his side that he could develop into the next one. He could be better than Swan. We don't know. Could be better than Swan. Don't get, you know, Graham Swan was initially elected for, like, was it 2000? Well, I know he was initially on the, from memory, he was in the 98-99, was it the England A team? In 1999. Going to South Africa from memory. I think he was picked for an A squad then. Yeah, 99, something like that. When he was young, he was like 20 years old. But he was a bit of a terrier, wasn't he? And then obviously he came back in 2007 in Sri Lanka in the ODIs. Then made, you know, his test debut in 2008. I remember him playing in India. Did pretty well there. And obviously he had a very, you know, he had a great career for those 5-6 years. Until he bowed out in Australia. But, you know, Best, as you said, got time on his side, so maybe, you know, hopefully he can leave out the, you know, stay off the sauce a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And he can, you know, just work on his game and just yeah, crack on basically. You know, crack on and just hopefully become a real spinner for England. So yeah, that's my thoughts, guys, really on that. You know, those 3 people, I would just think those 3 spots, should I say, if they can get them nailed down, especially obviously 3 and the keeper. I think you can actually have potential to be, you know, a very good team. I have to say, you know, Anderson, Broad, I don't think they've just finished just yet. I think Broad's especially got a bit more left in him. I think Anderson, in his head, he's very much got a lot of years ahead of him, but ultimately his body's letting him down, isn't it? You know, and the reality is he's 38 in July, so how much does he really have left in the tank? We'll have to wait and see. But Arch coming through, Mark Wood played back-to-back test matches for the first time in a long time. That's fantastic for England, obviously. Sam Curran, Chris Wokes, and they've got some other guys coming through as well. Been sent to the pace bowling program. You know, Mahmood, Stone, and Overton. Not a big fan of Overton, but I think Stone, if he's fit, fantastic. Mahmood looks decent bowler as well. Interested to see how he goes in the white ball stuff in SA. But they seem to be okay in that department at the moment. You know, England. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, that's my thoughts, guys. If you like the content, cut. So if you enjoyed the content, please do like the video. As I said before, share, do comment, please. Give me a comment, anyone, anything. Send me something. Let's get a bit of a debate going, guys. And most of all, subscribe, alright? And I will see you on the next one. Cheers.